Friends, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's not difficult for you, but it's nice for me, and we're starting. Yulia and I have been together for a year and a half, and love gradually began to please less and less, turned into a routine and even some kind of mandatory program. Julia is a slender girl with a third size and fiery red hair. She quickly realized that now she could no longer be shy about how much she liked the attention of men. Since then, she has loved to tease me. I like my classmate Pasha. Do you think I should make love to him, honey? And she makes such an innocent face, as if she's asking if she should wear sandals for a walk today. Or another day. I went to university today without panties. The guys seemed to understand this and stared at me all day. Did it turn you on? Of course. I really wanted to be alone with one of them and make hot love. Why didn't you do it? Because you weren't around, and I wanted you to see how dirty I am. Did you want someone in particular, or were you ready for anyone? With anyone. I want to be used by all the guys in the band. And more recently, honey, I don't have enough income. I think maybe I can work as a call girl for a while. Do you think it's worth it? If it will bring you both money and pleasure, why not? Will you help me? We felt that we both liked this game, and gradually moved on. I really secretly dreamed of such a thing, but I did not dare to say it. Julia guessed everything herself. In the same week, we got a moment control device. Julia looked at the details with curiosity, tried on different options for me, and that same evening she learned how to deftly put this thing on and take it off. We agreed that she would lock me up for real tomorrow. The next thought occurred to us at the same time. We decided to find a strict keeper for the key to my belt who would not agree to open me as quickly as Julia. And so that he would also be interested in our game, we decided to offer him Julia's body, and thereby realize another of our long-held dreams, to get Julia a lover. I went to VK, where I was already a member of many thematic communities, and wrote an ad. My girlfriend wants a lover. Her condition is that the man should take the key to my chastity belt and not open me too often, and attached a photo of Julia's body and face. During the next day, about 30 people wrote to me. Yulia and I were immediately interested in a middle-aged man, signed as Victor, who immediately began to be imperious and businesslike. I need your girlfriend and the keys to your chastity belt. Victor was supposed to come to us tomorrow evening. He ordered us to prepare for his arrival. We both needed to shave our groins thoroughly. He told us not to wear a chastity belt until his arrival. I've been on pins and needles all day. I could see that Julia was worried too. Finally, the intercom rang. Then the elevator arrived and Victor rang the doorbell. Julia, dressed like a fool, opened the door for him. I was kneeling in the hallway without clothes on. Victor nodded approvingly. We moved into the room. Let's start by locking up the boy, he said simply. I was standing with my arms wound up behind my back. Julia squatted down in front of me, conjured with rings and a lock, and after a couple of minutes the belt was on me. Deft hands pulled the key out of the lock and dropped it into Victor's waiting palm. Good. Now everything is correct. Well done, that's it, Victor encouraged her. Try your best. He looked at me with a look full of superiority. Victor stood behind Julia, bent her so that she rested her hands against the wall, lifted her skirt and found her whole with his fleshy trunk. He entered her with a strong movement, and Julia began to moan as she had never moaned under me. I had no doubt that she was giving herself to a man sincerely and really wanted him to like her. Jealousy pricked me. I realized that she wasn't thinking about me at all right now. Victor caught his breath, buttoned up and spoke. I liked everything, and so we will continue. If you obey me, everything will be fine. You stay locked up for now and dream about your girlfriend. Be gentle with her. You can see for yourself. She worked her holes, so lick her better. If he complains about you, don't expect anything good. That's it. I'm off. Don't write to me. I'll contact you myself whenever I want. And he left. How do you like it? Julia asked. You mean him? And about him too. It's fine. He seems to be adequate and knows what he is doing. Does your belt feel tight? No. I won't be able to open you. He really took the key. I checked. I know. Did you like him? I made great love, admitted Julia. I want more. But you can. I'm the one who's locked up, not you. Why? That's an idea. Will you find me, guys? It's not fair that men will pay for love, and then you'll get me at home for free. Now you won't pay, and you won't have love. When I logged into VK, I found a message from Victor there. Well done, you did everything well today. I wrote, yes, Mr. Victor, and turned off the computer. Victor was in no hurry to repeat his visit, and I was afraid to write to him. A week later, he wrote it himself. I didn't know how long I could take it. Finally, I decided and wrote to Victor asking him to come and use my girlfriend. I was unpleasantly surprised by his attitude this time. He looked at me with disdain, didn't even look at me, and sometimes gave me an arrogant glance. Almost never did he address me directly, talking only to Julia and passing on his instructions for me through her. It was so cruel and hopeless that I didn't even dare ask him to open me, and he just got dressed and left. Well, did you understand your place? He wrote to me that evening in VK. Yes, Mr. Victor, I replied meekly. I cheered up and walked contentedly until the very moment I fell asleep. The next day, Julia returned home late. She smiled mysteriously, sat on my face, and only then told me that she had slept with the classmate she liked. I can't be with you right now anyway, she guilelessly defended herself. Do you like that I'm such a fool? What is it? She asked fervently. I gently hugged Julia, kissed her, and assured her that I love her very much. And in recent days, I have only begun to love her even more. The chastity belt does work wonders, she grinned. Victor locked me up, and Julia was released. While I was wearing a chastity belt for the first 3 weeks, she made love to 7 new guys for her. Exactly 3 weeks after Julia gave the key to Victor, during his next visit, having lowered it into Julia, he suddenly turned to me complacently. Well, choose, you're a man or a dirty mutt. If you want to chase a bald man, then beg me as much as possible. Maybe I'll open you up. But if I see even a little dignity and pride in you, don't even think about the key. You don't decide here. And I burst out. Tears started pouring out of my eyes. I remembered how strange guys had Julia, how I tugged at my belt in the hope of relieving the sensations a little. I whimpered and began to whine, begging to be opened. I no longer hoped for anything, but suddenly my key appeared in Victor's hands from somewhere. He gave it to Julia, and she unlocked my lock in a few movements. I made a few hysterical movements and poured my liquid on the floor. It was an enchanting moment. When I came to my senses, I realized that Julia was looking at me intently, and something in her gaze had changed a lot. He no longer had the same tenderness and attention, but he had a cold and arrogant interest. Julia continues to keep me in the chastity belt, but no longer opens it at the first request.